We haven't gotten to a point in technology for EUCs yet where battery, motor size, weight don't compromise each other. Welcome back to the channel, guys. So Boston is quiet. So it's literally Tuesday and I took a ride from my house to pretty much my job to see what the range of this machine is. And I can say the reason I did it was to see, number one, how fast I could ride, right? Compared to my 84 volt, but also to experience the ride characteristics of this wheel. And one thing I can say about this wheel is the pedals and the bulkiness of it make a huge difference. They make huge difference on how you ride. It just does. Now, granted, I haven't done 200 miles yet on this wheel, so it's gonna take me a little bit more to get used to it. But typically that's what I do. I ride up to 200 miles and then I can know exactly how to adapt to this new wheel, you know? I haven't been able to adapt yet because in some of the video you will see I keep adjusting my foot because of the pedal. So the pedal, they're a little bit more angled, and what that does is it actually effectively makes you feel as if you have a smaller pedal, because the 84 volt, it's flatter, right? So you have more room to play. You can slide in, you can slide out. This one, because it's angled more like upwards, you know, it gives you less room to slide your foot. You see what I'm saying? So it makes it feel as if you have a very small pedal when it's really the same. So another thing I noticed is when I'm turning hard, when I'm making a hard turn left, I have a hard time doing that for me at the speed I want to, because it's a little bit thicker, and the pedal, again, it makes it feel as if it's small, you know what I mean? So this is what I meant by the bulk. So this part right here comes out a little more, right? Compared to the 84 volt. This is why they made this thinner. This is thinner because of this bulk. This is thinner because of this bulk. And then your foot here hits on the outside more than the 84 volt. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you look at the pedal, this pedal, more of my shoe is outside of the pedal, especially when I'm riding. So what happened the other day was I tried to maneuver left sharply on a bump, and this foot slid. It slid a little bit. Dude, that was very scary for me. Of course, I know how to adjust my foot on the go, but I didn't expect that because that never happened on the 84 volt. You know what I mean? So if you're looking at it, it looks like a smaller pedal. Well, it's the same pedal, but what happens is it just feels different because of the angle. Especially if you're riding straight, you're not gonna feel anything. You're not gonna feel any difference. But if you're maneuvering left and right, if you're attempting to maneuver left and right constantly, this is gonna feel funny. And I feel this is possibly why they angled the pedal to counter this bulk, this coming out. So when you're turning left and right, the angle kind of catches you. You know what I mean? That's my assumption anyway. The pedal makes a difference. The pedal makes a huge difference. A lot of people said when you first get your MSP, remove the pedals and get a Nicola pedal. I think that could be an option because it's the same. It's literally the same pedal. You know, it's the same pedal, but the angle makes it feel as if you have less space. Because I can't actually put my foot all the way in here. You know, I can't. I can put it all the way up to here, but that's it. Like the other day, I tried to do a crazy maneuver that I normally do with my 84 volt or even the Tesla, and my foot slid a little bit, and I freaked out. I was like, holy moly, why did this happen? Like, it literally slid out. Let's say this is 100%. I'm literally up to like 85%, maybe 85% of the pedal that I use, and that's not ideal. The wheel looks great, but it's just not ideal for riding how I want to ride, you know what I mean? So the top speed I did here was 35 miles an hour. I didn't want to go any faster. See, in controlled environments, like if I go to a park or something like that, or a parking lot, that's fine. I could do that. I could do like 38. If I like the street I crashed on, I did 38 miles an hour, 39, 40, crashed at 45. It doesn't matter, because this is a controlled environment. That's where I like to do my tests, in controlled environments. But in environments where it's the street with cars and people, you need to know your wheel before you can venture out and do crazy maneuvers, you know what I mean? You can ride, but to do the crazy maneuvering that I like to do, avoid cars, avoid people, etc., you're gonna really need to know your wheel. But the pedals, I can't say I love the pedals. I can't say I love the pedals at all, because it literally gets in the way of your maneuverability. And this wheel has a beautiful medium, soft, and hard mode. I love the medium, soft, and hard mode. It's beautiful, but the pedals take away from your ability to maneuver how you want. I took the 84 volt out for a ride the other day just to compare the two, and man, I felt like I was a bird with wings. Oh, a bird with wings. I felt like I had wings. I could literally just... So one of the drawbacks to having this small pedal, like I said, is when you take the turn really hard, like at a high rate of speed, you begin to feel a wobble, and you're literally fighting the wheel because you're losing traction with your foot on the pedal, and you're literally trying to gain that speed in that corner, right? Well, with the 84 volt, I don't have that issue because it's thinner. I've already adapted to the 84 volt. It was the same coming from the Tesla. I had to adapt to the 84 volt because of its tallness, its wideness, it's the big tire, etc. But one thing I really liked about the 84 volt was the pedal. It wasn't too big, it wasn't too small, it was perfect, but this angle just made it a little less. So I took the 84 volt, rode the same distance, same trail, same path I did with the MSuper Pro, and I'm blazing, man. I'm blazing higher speeds than the MS Pro because, number one, guys, it's not because it's faster, it's just because I'm more used to the 84 volt. And when you're used to a wheel, you can do whatever you want. So let's see what the battery is, because that's why I came here. I went from home to here, so let's take a look and see what the battery percentage is. With the 84 volt, it would be 96% right now. So let's see. The wheel is now at 90%, okay? 90% for a distance of 4 miles. This is how much distance it is from my house to my job. So 4 miles with the 84 volt, me riding at 37, sometimes 38 miles an hour. Not all the way, guys. Like, you know, because there are stops, there are turns, etc. But mostly, on average, I'll do a top speed of like 35, 36, 37 miles an hour, sometimes 38 miles an hour with the 84 volt. But when the traffic is clear, when there's nothing like this, the 84 volt, I'm doing 37 plus. You know what I mean? Not all the way, just, you know, top speeds that I hit on stretches. So this is down to 90%. This thing is, it says 89% now, but it was at 90%. But either way, this is really bad. You know, this is really bad, and I wasn't pushing it. It's windy. And with the 84 volt, on a much colder day, much windier day, this thing is still at 96, 94% for 4 miles. You know what I mean? So this is what I meant by this thing draining more battery. I'm not too disappointed. I know it's gonna be that because it's heavier, there's more torque, etc. In fact, I put stuff in my bag the same way I would with my 84 volt just to have something close. And this is literally 89 to 90% for 4 miles with a top speed of 35 miles an hour, average riding at 23 miles per hour. The one riding style I find, okay, for an aggressive rider, not for someone who just rides normally with, you know, just riding your wheel. If you're just riding your wheel normally, not doing any crazy maneuvers, don't even listen to me. You're fine, you know. I'm talking about people who want to maneuver through traffic and maneuver through obstacles and get bursts of speed and slow down real hard on brake if a car comes in the way or you're at a stoplight. That's who I'm talking to. If you're an aspiring aggressive rider, this is going to be a challenge. This is really going to be a challenge. And for me, this has been the most challenging wheel. And why is that? Because of the pedals and the bulkiness. The bulkiness, it's a few more millimeters, but you feel it. You feel it right away, man. And I'm not sure if that's why they angled the pedals, because it kind of makes sense. Think about it. The wheel is coming out, it's protruding out, so you might get the feel that your feet, when you're turning, is being pushed out, right? So maybe they angled the pedals to kind of counter that. But what they should have done is make the pedals bigger. But what I found was that this wheel loves the crouching tiger position if you're going to be very, very aggressive. Because when I crouched, I was able to do all kinds of maneuvering that I would normally do with my 84 volt being, you know, in a non-crouching position. I think it's because when I crouch, I feel my center of balance is much lower, and I feel more planted to these small pedals. You know what I mean? Again, they're the same pedals as the 84 volt. It just feels smaller because of the angle. I've only ridden this wheel for 75 miles so far, so I have a lot more learning to do. By 200 miles, I should be fine. I should understand this wheel a lot better. But it's definitely a different wheel compared to the 84 volt. It's a different wheel altogether. It's just not comparable. Now I see why they say Pro, because this is different. The moment I got back on the 84 volt, I felt like a bird. And one thing also I noticed about the 84 volt is I couldn't ride it in medium mode anymore, or soft mode, because the torque on this is so strong. And now after 75 miles of riding, I'm so used to it that when I get on the 84 volt and I try to push it, I'm thinking I have the MS Pro. So I'm pushing with the same velocity as I did with the MS Pro. So what happens is the 84 volt, because it has less torque in medium and soft mode, it bucks forward. And I catch myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I don't have that much torque. So now I ride the 84 volt in hard mode, which actually feels great. It feels amazing. Whereas in the beginning I hated hard mode because it didn't have enough play. Now I get to play with it because of this. Very, very interesting. People started actually receiving their MS Pros already. Congratulations to you guys, but take it from me, this wheel is not for you if you're brand new to riding. It shouldn't be your first wheel. And if you had anything less than a wheel, if you had a wheel that goes anything less than 30 miles an hour, you shouldn't have this wheel. Or 25 miles an hour, you shouldn't have this wheel. Less than 25 miles an hour, you shouldn't have this wheel. If you had anything less in size than a V8, an in-motion V8 or a Tesla, you shouldn't get this wheel. Anything higher, you're good. Kingsong 18XL, Kingsong 18L, 84 volt MSX, 100 volt MSX. Obviously, this will be nothing to you probably. But this is really a pro version wheel not because of the speed. It's because of how you have to ride, okay? It's because of the weight. It's because of the bulk. It's because of the extra, because my legs were tired. My legs were exhausted, especially when holding brakes. Oh my gosh, hard braking. I had to literally stoop because, man, and after a while, my legs just kept like, my thigh was in pain. Not in pain, but I was like, wow, this is something. All right, guys, so I went around and I rode from Boston, went deep into Boston, took the long way back, pretty much near the beach. This is JFK Beach area. And I'm at the Rotary now. And this is usually where I blaze it home, you know. So right now, I'm at 10 miles, 10.8 miles to be exact, and it's 65% battery. 65% battery, and the top speed is 35 miles per hour. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Like, this is okay. So the best way I can explain the MSuper Pro in terms of range is, it's like you have two cars at home. One is like a car you use every day, okay, and the other one ends up being a car that you use on the weekends. The MSuper Pro in terms of range is that car, is that wheel, okay? It's literally not meant for range, because that high torque, we haven't gotten to a point in technology for EUCs yet where battery, motor size, weight don't compromise each other. This is why I loved the 84 volt, and this is why I did not want to buy a 100 volt MSX in the beginning. Now I know they have like 2200 plus watt hours, but now it's still not from Gotway. Gotway still doesn't make 22 plus 100 watt hours, you know what I'm saying? This is what I wanted to say. If you're getting the MS Pro, just be aware your range is going to be significantly less if you're an aggressive rider, okay? This is, I think Fuji might have said it right, this is really for off-roading, but I mean, you can use it anywhere you want, but the range is going to be upsetting to you if you think you're coming from an 84 volt and you're buying the MSP to replace the 84 volt. In terms of range, not a good idea. So, and in terms of maneuverability, initially, not a good idea. You're gonna have to spend more time with that wheel in order to really understand it and get what you want out of it. So 60%, 65% after 10 miles. And I wasn't really riding hard. My top speed was 35. Average speed is way below that. So there you go, guys, on a nice, beautiful 61-degree weather day. So I hope this helps. So guys, till next time, enjoy yourselves. I'm gonna do some more riding in this empty streets. Take care.